Hey everybody, welcome to the official Do Good Better podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Kirby, and with me,
Abby Furchner.
You first time nailed it.
I know.
We haven't been in the studio for a while.
Long time.
I felt like you were going to stumble out of the gate. You didn't. Very proud of you. We are back for another one of our Thursday episodes. We're continuing kind of our quest to answer all the questions that have either come to us through email or on Facebook or on social media, etc. And you have another delightful question that we're going to talk about today on the official Do Good Better podcast.
This is a good one.
Okay,
so the question is, we've heard of inbound marketing. How do we market ourselves so that more people find us, call us, and ask us how to help instead of us having to work so hard? I like the ending because you're still going to have to work hard.
I was just going to say that's great.
There's no you can't just wiggle yourself out of marketing yourself almost.
No, there's no easy path.
No.
You don't have to work overwhelmingly hard. No. You don't have to write War and Peace for content, but you have to actually work hard. So inbound marketing, so how do you talk about yourself? Here's the thing. A lot of nonprofits, don't like bragging about themselves or talking about their successes. And this is one of the things we talk about on Thursdays. Thursdays are for celebrating. If you're listening to this podcast, it's probably a Thursday. You need to celebrate more. I think what nonprofits need to do is tell their story in more creative ways. So don't just do a social post that writes a thing with 0 pictures. Do video, write blog posts. And again, this doesn't have to be 20,000 word document. You don't have to write a book, but you do have to write things that you know about, that you're passionate about. And as you write things and as you talk about things that you're passionate about, you're going to attract the right people who are inevitably going to ask, what else did they do at their organization?
Right. We've talked with a couple clients actually recently where a lot the questions coming up, people don't know what we do and they don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And so one easy way that you can generate some of your own social media content that is not hard, that is going to market yourself, that does not take a lot of time, is within the organization, employees telling their stories and why they love the organization. That can be 3 paragraphs and you're done. Yes. Put a cute picture up of the employee outside of the organization holding something fun. Maybe if they won an award or something cool at one point. That's a super simple way to get out what you do and what you're doing for the community.
Yeah, I think people want to be associated with individual organizations whose employees love them. And here's the thing, your employees then will become, or your volunteers. If you're not a nonprofit that has a lot of employees, but you have volunteers, you have people that work with you on the projects or the pieces that make your organization great. They're going to tell their friends about what a great organization you are without you paying for them to do so. Without you telling them to do so, they're going to naturally do it because they're excited about being a part of your team. And so again, we talk about this incredibly. And if you listen to this podcast, you've heard us say this 1,000 times. Third-party endorsement is exponentially better than first-party solicitation. Right. Having other people talk about your organization, whether they're volunteers or staff or people who receive your services, is way better than you going out there and telling people that you're great.
We're awesome.
We're awesome. That sounds weird. But if I talk to Abby, if Abby's got a nonprofit, I go, hey, listen, I got this really amazing nonprofit that I work with. Abby's the head of it. She's amazing. You have to go and meet with her. She's just incredible. People are going to take my word talking about somebody that I have no relationship with outside of that I just enjoy being around more than Abby telling me that she's awesome and she does great things.
People, it's really not you have a right to brag about yourself because you're an awesome organization, but some people feel uncomfortable doing that about themselves. So doing it about somebody else within your organization is still the same thing about bragging your organization. It just doesn't feel as uncomfortable or awkward. But I am very much one that encourages organizations to focus on quality posts on their Facebook pages, social media pages, because you'll be the more that you brag about yourself, you'll be surprised by the more people will come to you automatically and see your content, and that'll get them interested. And so just doing a few simple posts a day will really generate a lot of movement on your social media pages, which isn't a lot of work.
No, it's not. And I think another thing you can do is also reach out to the traditional media, the radio and
Yep.
TV. They are always looking for stories.
Mm-hmm.
Digging for stories is a lot of work for reporters and or producers of radio shows,
Mm-hmm.
right? They have an idea of what the show wants to be, but if they can have content that just comes to them that
Right.
they can actually facilitate in one of their shows, it's perfect. You help them, they help you by getting additional things. And if it's interesting content, if it's interesting as a topic and you're the expert because you're a part of the organization that's the expert in the field, this is a perfect match made in heaven.
I will say though, as a previous reporter, make sure you actually do have, like you just said, you do have something that's intriguing or interesting. Don't just be like, hey, will you talk about our organization? Because likely you'll get turned down and you're going to be like, because reporters are going to say, well, there's no story behind that. But I know, say you're an organization that helps homeless people. Winter is coming. That's a great story for a reporter because whatever, especially with COVID going on, how are homeless shelters handling the colder months coming? What are they doing? How are they providing for homeless people within the community? There you go. You just pitched a story idea to a reporter and you're an organization and bada boom, you're on TV.
And radio still has a ton of listeners.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to pay for ads. Sorry, friends who are listening to this who are advertising agents in that. If you get to know the hosts, and this is something that Abby talks about all the time. And if you wanted to download her ebook, you can do so. We'll probably drop a link or so in the comments. That really encourages you to reach out to the reporters, to the individuals who are producing traditional media, because they can then build a relationship with you. They then trust you to say, if I need an expert in the field, I'm going to contact your organization. That's one of the lessons that Abby talks about all the time in the ebook that you can download for free. So that's really a great.
Yeah, because the more into with like annual events that your organization puts on, that's why you'll see so much media at these events, because they reached out that one time and then that reporter went that one time. Well, now they're searching for a story and that event is coming back up. And so now they're going to start reaching out to you to see if they can come and cover your event once again. Radio, TV, newspaper, whatever. That's totally all media. But once you build that relationship.
And that's all organic. That's not paid. That's all organic. That's you're giving quality content out there. Again, and content is not writing the novel. It's not the great American novel. It is just writing interesting things that you're the experts in to build rapport with an audience that kind of really is interested in it. Then donors come out of the woodwork because they just want to help you out. That was an excellent question. I think we answered it.
Loved it.
Very delightfully. Thanks for tuning in again on the official Do Good Better podcast.